All right, we'll try this again. Anyway, so who do you know that I should know? I thought that was really, really good. And in fact, as I was saying, I've been using this with a lot of people as I've been speaking to them. You know, one of the things that I've been doing is going back to the people that really haven't been engaged. So I ran a report in the back office. You go into organization, and then you go into personally enrolled. And people that I just frankly haven't talked to in a while, people that kind of faded away, I actually reached out to every single one of them that I personally brought in and started re-engaging with them. And I basically said, hey man, how you been? What's going on? All this other stuff. Told them about the weekend, the growth, what we're anticipating in 2019. And I said, look, you haven't really been engaged. It looks like you're still on the product. Or for those who weren't currently on the product, say, hey, it looks like you haven't ordered in a couple months. A lot of them forgot, guys. A lot of them just, it slipped their mind, or maybe when we switched over from the ACH to the credit cards, I don't know exactly why, but a lot of them ordered again. A lot of them got back engaged, which was great. So it just took that 5-minute phone call, that personal touch, and to get people to re-engage. But here's what I said to them. I said, so how have you been? And they told me, and like everybody's going to always tell you guys, they told me how busy they were, and I'm busy working on this, and I'm busy working on that. And I said, look, I get it. But with what we're about to do, with what's about to happen in the new year, I want to go to work for you. You know, you have a sphere of influence. You have a contact list that probably is going to hear about this gel, and they better hear about it from you first. Another Troy Landwehr little gold nugget where he says, you're going to hear about something, and I want you to hear it from me first. I thought that was brilliant. He uses that when he's contacting people, which, again, works really well. And I've incorporated that in when I'm talking to people, too. But anyway, I digress. So when he's going through this process, I went back to those people, and I said, hey, who do you know that I should know? In other words, who do you know that's ever been in a pyramid? Who do you know that's ever done a multi-level marketing, company, networking company in the past, or maybe they're currently doing it now? And why don't you put me in touch with those people, right? So that's one category of people. The other one would be, of course, people that have approached you about a business, right? About a networking company. So most people are like, yeah, I know my cousin. I know this guy I used to work with, one of my good friends. And so people came up with people right off the top of their head. And just having that conversation stimulated their memory. And I said, all right, look, well, why don't you do this? Give me their contact information, give me their name, their phone number, and a couple of bullet points on them so that I can reach out to them come the new year, touch base with them, talk to them about the business. And of course, we'll put them in your group if they want to get started. Everybody was very receptive to that, guys. Nobody said no, right? Everybody was very receptive to that. I'm pretty much told them, hey, look, let's do this. Let me make the calls for you. And every one of them was all about it. So I thought that was pretty cool. When it talks about allocation of time, Troy was talking about 50% of your time in this business should be on personal recruiting. 50% should be on bringing in new people, new blood, right? The rest of your time is spent obviously working with your team and things of that nature. But I think that's something that was kind of an eye-opener for me, because although over the last 5, maybe 6 weeks, I've started working again on personal recruiting. I brought in, I think it was 10 or 11 people in the last 5 or 6 weeks or so. It hasn't been 50% of my time, which means me sending out that intriguing text message, that Facebook message, me following up with people, me re-engaging people that I've known from the past, right? So in other words, really getting those dialogues going, because guys, it takes time. I mean, you don't just reach out to somebody you haven't spoke to in years and then just pounce all over them. Sometimes, these dialogues go back and forth for a couple days or a couple of weeks. You start liking their post, you start interacting with them on Facebook. Another thing that actually Danielle was talking about. You basically go and you just reconnect with them on Facebook. I call it stalking their page or whatever. But here's a guy or here's a girl that you want to talk to about this business. You haven't interacted with them much in a year or 2 years or 10 years or whatever it is, but you're connected with them on Facebook. Okay, well, what if I'm not? Well, then connect with them on Facebook. Look them up, right? But then what do? You set it for see first, right? If this is someone you're going after, if this is someone that you really think would be great in this business, you do on the follow, you do see first. So every time they post, you get a notification. Interact with them, like what they post. If you legitimately like it, of course, love it, laugh at it, comment on it, share it if you think it's cool, whatever. The point being is as you're interacting with these people, then maybe in a little bit in the future, in other words, not the same day, you want to reach out to them and send a private message. Hey, have you been? Why don't we catch up? Let's hop on a quick call. Every Diamond Ambassador, I would say that 95% of the strategy when it comes to marketing and building this business is the same for all of us. But there's always that little twist. There's always that little difference, if you will, right, in the approach. And so what I really enjoy, what I find works very well, re-engaging with people from my past, is to get them on a phone call. I just literally want to get them on the phone and say, hey guys, hey John, and after we've been interacting, right, let's hop on a quick call and catch up. Now, I'm not saying, have you heard of the gel? What do you know about HGH? I'm not even going there. I just want to get them on the phone. So as soon as I get them on the phone, I'm going to actually ask them questions about their life. How have the family been? You know, how are the kids? How's your real estate been going, right? Or whatever the case may be. And what's going to happen? Invariably during that conversation, they're going to ask you what? What have you been up to, Joe? What have you been up to, Maureen, Tyler? Or, you're right. Like, they're going to ask you. It's a normal part of conversation. Wow, you know, I've been really busy with real estate. And, you know, in fact, actually, I'm working on a new project. Let me ask you something. You know, have you heard of the gel yet? Or what do you know about HGH? See, you're using those same questions that we've been teaching, but you're weaving it into a normal part of a conversation. So you're not coming across spammy or salesy or weird or awkward, right? It's a natural part of the evolution of a conversation. Oh, what have you been up to, Bri? Well, you know, and there we go, okay? And it opens up the door. But at that point, okay, I'm going to have to go. I told them I only want to connect for a few minutes. As soon as we start to make that turn, to turn that corner to get into the business, I am not going to stay on the phone and talk to them for 30 minutes. You know, talking to people, working with people in this business, finding out what they're doing, what's working, what's not working. One of the common threads that I'm starting to see, and I've seen for a while, in fact, is that people are over-talking. People are just talking way too much. They're piquing interest, they're getting people interested, and they're literally talking themselves out of a sale. They're talking themselves out of a potential person to join the business because they're just saying way too much. Guys, that is destructive for you in numerous different ways. It's destructive for you in the sense that if you're talking too much, right? If they do get involved, they're going to think they have to be as good as you and know as much as you and have all this wonderful information in order for them to start talking to people. We don't want that. We want people to be able to immediately engage. Hey, Stacy. We want people to immediately be able to get out there and start talking to their sphere of influence with no information. So, in fact, the less you know, the better. And I know we were talking about that on last week's call. So if you're just simply carrying along that normal dialogue, and when it comes up, hey, what have you been up to, Stacy? Well, you know, I've been working on a new project. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a startup out of San Francisco. Have you heard of the gel yet? And then, oh, no, what's that? Well, listen, I got to run. I got to head back to work. I got to go this, that. I got to run. But let me tell you what, this is something that you're going to be hearing about in 2019. I want you to hear about it from me first. I'm going to send you some information. I got a link with a quick little 3-minute video and a PDF on it. When do you think you can watch that? Can we talk later on today? Can you watch it tonight after work? Can we talk tomorrow? The key, you want to follow up within 24 hours, and you're setting your follow-up on the call. Yay, I'll check it out later on. Great. I got to run. We'll talk later on. And go. Hang up. Done. That's it. Well, can you tell me more about it? I really got to run, man. Just check out that video and we'll talk later. So you're being a little bit elusive. You're being a little bit, mysterious, I guess is the word I was searching for. But again, you don't want to have all the answers. So then when you get them back on the phone, you ask them, hey, did you get a chance to check out that video? Yeah, I did. Well, what you like best about it? It's pretty amazing, right? I didn't know there was HGH in the form of a gel, did you? And you can just have a normal dialogue and then see what their concerns are, see how interested. Guys, we're finding that 90% of the people, if they watch the video, if they open up that PDF and they actually read through it, they either want to try the product or they want to get involved in the business. It's like, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's simple. I don't know, guys, I've done a lot in my life with marketing and squeeze pages and, getting people to get on live webinars in the real estate world and all that stuff. I'm still shocked at how well that 3-minute video is converting. People that watch it, they want more information. They want to buy it. They want to try it. So it's converting very, very well. Just use the tools that have been put there for you. Pique their interest. Again, in my opinion, the phone is the best because here's why I'm bringing this up. There's been a lot of people who've just been randomly sending text messages and adding people to the testimonial groups who they haven't spoken to in years. So let's say my example, my buddy Rob Floros, who just joined the business, who I've known many, many years now. If I just dropped him in a couple of Facebook testimonial groups and just shot him a link, hey man, check this out, getonthegel.com. That's weird. Wouldn't you agree? That's not, you just don't do that. Like, how about hello? You know what I mean? How about how have you been? How's Wanda? How's the kids? So taking the human element into your marketing and not being so robotic and so just methodical in your, sometimes I think people take things a little too literally. So when we say reach out to 8 people a day, they're just saying, I got to send this link out, getonthegel.com to 8 people. And they literally just copy and paste, boom, 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 boom. No introduction, no leading up, no building intrigue. And that's where a lot of people have been struggling. Not naming names because a lot of you that are going to watch this know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's okay. We just now have to make some adjustments, some corrections, and move on. So I'm sharing all this with you because I have so many phone calls, guys, with people that are really putting in effort, but they're not getting the results they want, and I'm starting to figure out why. It's because of their approach. It's because of being a little too salesy and just forgetting to just be a human being with people. You know, these are supposedly your friends. These are people you used to work with, go to church with, your cousins that you haven't talked to in forever, the guy you sold a house to years ago, whatever the case may be. How about you just genuinely care about how have you been, how's the family, and really don't just say it robotic, like to get to the point, hoping they're going to ask you, you know, what you've been up to so you can hit them. Take a genuine interest in other people. You know, one of my favorite books, years and years ago, I started reading when I was 18. One of the books I read I read a lot of books in the hospital when I was in the chemotherapy ward with cancer. And one of the other books my mentor gave me, in addition to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That was the most life-changing book I've ever read in my life. In fact, I still have the book. Yes, it's a paperback and it's all tore apart and I got to keep it together with a rubber band, but it's very, you know, it's very sentimental to me, that book. Not only because the gentleman who gave it to me passed, but also because of what I was going through at that time in my life. But, you know, for many, many years, I would read that book. I had a commitment that on New Year's, I would reread How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now I have it on Audible, it's on my phone, but it's not the same as just taking out the book and reading. So I'm going to make that commitment again. I haven't done that for many, many years, but this year, New Year, I'm setting a little reminder in my calendar. I'm going to read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I would like to challenge all of you to do the same thing. Guys, you can pick up the Audible version or even the paperback for probably $7 or not even $10. Go to Barnes & Noble. They're going to have it, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People. A lot of you have heard of that book. A lot of you read that book years ago. I'm asking you to make a fresh commitment and read it again. Why? Well, one of the things that he talks about in that book is taking a genuine interest in other people, right? Not taking that phony, fraudulent interest where you're just waiting to get to your sale or your pitch or whatever, but just taking a step back and I don't know, people are interesting, right? And if you start to take an interest in other people and truly mean it authentically, it's going to come through in your conversation. You're not just going to sound like a robot. And conversely, if you're just asking them questions, oh, how's the family, just waiting to get to your moment of opportunity, they're going to sense that. They're going to know you're not genuine. So take an interest in other people. You know, the human soul is really starved for attention, is really starved for people to take, you know, any type of an interest in them. So if you're one of those rare people, which is probably one of the few, if any, people in their life, taking an interest in them, they're going to immediately be drawn to you. So that gets into a whole other category of what is magnetism and what defines and how do you create what they call a charismatic personality. Well, charisma and having a charismatic personality is when people are drawn to you, but they're drawn to you because of how you're making them feel while they're interacting with you. And so if you're taking a genuine interest in them, which I guarantee you not many, if anybody else in their life is, they're going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to be around you. It's all part of developing a charismatic personality, which I have a whole training on that alone. That I used to do for my real estate students, which in the new year I'm going to make a note. We'll have a wonderful training on that. It's going to change your life when you guys hear this. It's all about mindset and building a charismatic personality. But anyway, not to go too far down that rabbit hole, because I do have to cut this off right at 12:30 today in about 11 minutes because I'm going to pick up my son from preschool, Nico. All right. Monitor the health of your business. I said it again. Guys, we talked about it last week. I don't know. A lot of you haven't done this, and I think you think it's going to be a lot more work than it is. If you log into your back office and you go to organization and you click on personally enrolled, it's going to pull up a page and you're going to see all the people that you personally brought in. It's going to show when they signed up, when they got started, but the most important column, and please pay attention, it's going to say last order date. You take today's date and you go back 30 days. For example, today's December 20th. If their last order date was November 20th, okay, or before, something's wrong. Their credit card didn't go through. The expiration on the credit card expired. They stopped their auto ship. They don't want the product anymore, which is rare. We don't really see too much of that. But you understand? Or with this new credit card processor, which I may be forced to do a video update tomorrow, which will only take 5 minutes, but I'm expecting news from Danielle Rich with this new credit card processor. The good news is we're getting new merchant accounts on board to process credit cards as we continue to have rapid growth. The bad news is to spread out the charges and the way people are being billed, specifically for the auto ships. They're taking batches of people that were with this processor and shifting them over to this processor and over to this processor. Well, there's a problem there. The problem is for legality reasons, by law, you can't transfer over someone's CVV number, that 3-digit code on the back of the card. You can't store that. It's like a federal violation. So for the people they shifted over, when they're going to run those auto ships, they're being declined. And they're sending out an email. They're letting people know. But guys, people don't read emails. Or what if it goes into their spam folder? So they don't know. So I've been going through this exercise that Larry has been helping me, running reports. If it's more than 30 days, just picking up the phone and calling them. And guys, I'm not saying do it every day. Do it once a week. Do it every Monday. Do it every Friday. Just set a reminder so you can go in and check, because 80% of the people I'm calling who was more than 30 days are like, oh yeah, my expiration expired on my credit card, or I don't use that card anymore, I lost my wallet. Or maybe they were part of that CVV issue, and oh yeah, I never got that email from customer service. You mean all I got to do is call in? Yeah, just call in. It'll take 30 seconds. Call the number, give them your ID number and this 3-digit code, and boom, you're active again. Guys, that's it. But imagine how many people your front line aren't doing that. Imagine how many people on your front line maybe aren't active because they just need a phone call from you. It also gives you a reason, dare I say, excuse to actually interact with them. Coming back full circle to what we talked about a few minutes ago, take an interest in their life. Hey, how you been? What's going on? You know, all this other stuff. You'll have to cancel your AutoShip profile and set it up again using a new order. Yes, great point, Joe. So this came up yesterday on one of my calls. God, I can't remember who I was talking to. I had 32 scheduled calls yesterday, guys. It was quite crazy. Anyway, he didn't realize. God, he's going to kill me now. I can't remember who I was talking to. But anyway, he went in and he said, I'm trying to place it was for his downline. He said, I'm trying to place a new order, get them back on AutoShip. They want to get back on AutoShip, but I don't know what to do because it's not working. It's not going through. Oh, it was Brendan Fagan. It was Brendan. And I said, dude, no. You must have missed that recording or that training from a few weeks ago or a month ago. You don't go into Manage My AutoShip and create a new profile. That's if you only want to use ACH. If you want to use a checking account, by all means, go and do it that way. Most people want to put it on a debit card, a credit card. So you have to hit New Order, and there's two options that are going to come up. You hit New Orders, Place New Order, okay? Which one do you choose? Well, the one on AutoShip. They're both $140, but it's a one-time bottle, or it's the bottle on with monthly recurring on the AutoShip. Of course, you want to get them back on the AutoShip, but they have to do it by placing a new order. Great reminder, Joe. Thank you. I completely forgot about that, and that just happened yesterday, so thank you, Joe. Take care of your people. Oh, another one. The resource that I mentioned last week. A lot of you, I apologize. I thought I put a link below. Maybe I didn't. The app that I've been using for my phone, and it syncs up to my computer. It's like a daily reminder. It's like a to-do, online to-do list. It's called Todoist, Todoist. And that's their website too. If you go to Todoist, Todoist.com, you can check it out. It's also in the App Store and Google, whatever it is for you Android people. But I will put the link below today. But it's revolutionary as far as keeping me on track and organized, because here's the thing. Tell me this hasn't happened to you before. Oh, and by the way, you can create categories, right? So you can have your personal stuff, like, oh, I got to get the oil change, got to go, whatever, call to, whatever, go pick up the dry cleaning, whatever the case may be, the personal stuff. Then you can have your business stuff, but then within the business category, let's call it the gel category, you can have subcategories and labels. So I labeled mine that are prospects. I labeled mine 3-minute, which means I sent them a 3-minute video. I labeled them getting started. That's for brand new people. I want to get them onboarded and ramped up right away. And then, of course, I have my Focus 30, the 30 people I'm looking to really focus and get them to Diamond Ambassador. And so you can put these tags, and then you select when you're going to follow up with them, but you have this note section. So you can say, spoke to Joe Pringle on Thursday, December 20th, we spoke about this. I told him I'll follow up next week, whatever, right? And then you click, and then that day when you wake up, boom, there's a reminder, and you see that list of exactly who you have to follow up, who you have to call, send an email to, and there's notes reminding you where you're at. Because, guys, trust me from personal experience, the more people you deal with in the business, the more people that are flying around your head, it gets virtually impossible to remember every conversation you've had with people. So this is really helping keep me on point, all right? And no, I don't have ADD. I don't think I do anyway. Maybe I do. Monitor your daily action habits. This is a good one. One of the things that came up most during the calls is people are saying, all right, Brian, well, listen, I want to recommit. I want to reengage. What do I do? I said, it's easy. You do two things. Number one, get plugged in. Reminded them. I said, go back and watch Unit 2. In fact, for people that maybe, I had quite a few people who weren't around for a while. Like, I'm talking 3 months, 6 months, 7 months. They got in way back when, but they've been like a ghost. They haven't been around. Yes, I reached out and called them, got a lot of them, not all of them, re-engaged. So what do I do? New Year's coming. I want to draw a line. I want to get started again and really put the effort into this business. Great. Glad you asked. Step one, run through all the units. We have 7 units in there. It'll take you about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Watch all the videos, do all the exercises, and in about, let's just say 3 hours, you're completely ramped up. Number 2, which is also in Unit 2, you need to get plugged in. You need to make a commitment to get plugged in. By plugged in, I mean 2 hours and 15 minutes a week, okay? You have a Saturday noon call, you have a Sunday evening call, a Monday call, a weekly Facebook Live. By the way, those 4 things are all 30 minutes in length. That's 2 hours. And a 15-minute morning cup of Joe Wednesday morning. 2 hours and 15 minutes per week. You're completely plugged in. What about the webinars on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the corporate? No. That's an opportunity presentation for new people so that if they see the 3-minute video, you want to send them to a live webinar, you send them there. You don't need to be going on them every Tuesday and Thursday. You're already involved, right? So yeah, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes a week. Guys, most people do more than that in traffic per day, right? So it's not really that much of a commitment, but that's what I say. I say, look, run through the units, get plugged in, and start taking daily action. Specifically, you create a number. I remind them if they haven't seen it in a while or if they forgot that Danielle Rich recommends 8 people a day, 8-4-2-1, which means you're reaching out to 8 people a day. But maybe a lot of new people, I'm finding that kind of intimidates them and scares them. Like, 8 people a day. I say, well, 2 people, 1 person, 1. Can you do 1? In other words, I don't care what the number is. It could be 20. But whatever the number is, you damn well better honor it and commit to it. Not to me, to yourself. Commit to yourself that you're going to do those 2 a day, those 5 a day. And then like clockwork, like going to the bathroom, 20, exactly, Matt. Whatever your number is, right? Just honor your daily commitment. And if you say, Brian, I'm going to do 5 people a day, 5 days a week, take the weekends off. Okay, great. That's 25 people a week. Guys, that's 100 people a month you're reaching out to. 100 people a month. And if you're doing it properly and plugged in and calling and we're having a strategy call and you're getting me on 3-way calls or whoever you're doing 3-way calls with your upline leader, you're going to grow. You can't expose this to 100 people, right, and not get some growth. Problem is people will talk to a handful of people, take a week off, talk to a few more, take 4 days off, talk to a few more, take 3 weeks off. You understand? And they're in and they're out, and they're in and they're out. And they're wondering why there's no growth in their business. Well, there's no consistency. Guys, if you want to lose weight, you got to eat good every day. Sure, have a cheat day, have a cheat meal. But for the most part, you got to be consistent with your diet, and you can't be eating donuts and pizza every day. It just ain't going to happen, right? And working out, you got to go to the gym. No, you don't have to go every day. But if you're going to commit to a 3-day-a-week or a 4-day-a-week regimen, it's got to be 3 to 4 days a week. You can't go 6 days one week and take 2 weeks off from the gym and be like, oh, I'm still fat. Doesn't. Life is about consistency. You understand? And in this business, for the purpose of this call, please make a decision to get consistent. That's all I'm asking you to do. And it doesn't have to be a number that scares you. If it's 1 person a day, I'm proud of you if you commit to 1 person a day. It's 30 people a month if you do it every day. You're going to grow with 30 people a day. All right? Any other notes? I don't know. Oh, so for those of you who joined late, or maybe you're watching this on the replay, the beginning got cut off because I tried bringing on my man Joe Pringle and screwed up the feed. But anyway, I am off. I'm not doing any 3-way calls. I'm not doing any calls. You'll see my calendar is booked out until next Thursday. I actually am working next Thursday, a week from today, but it's already filled. Literally every spot is filled, so I'll just be on the phone all day. And I do, if you guys have to set up any 3-way calls, or if you're not on my calendar, want to set up a strategy call to go into the New Year strong, I do have some openings left next Friday, which is a week from tomorrow. I got a bunch, 4, 5. I got at least 15 openings for next Friday if you guys want to plug in, if you don't already have a call booked. But anyway, and then of course we got the weekend and then New Year's, and then I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from yesterday when it's January 2nd and all. Yes, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy myself, and I suggest you do too during the holidays with your family. But it's going to be nice when it's behind us and we can just say, all right, man. By the way, I'm surprised at how many people travel. So many people are traveling for Christmas. I didn't realize that many people travel. North Carolina and Texas and California and Boston. Like, people are just going all over the place, which is awesome. It's great. Me, I'm going about 20 minutes over to New Jersey. That's about the traveling I'm doing. So anyway, all right, guys, it's 12:30. I got to go pick up Nico. I haven't decided yet if I'm doing a live next week because I'm off Wednesday. Thursday is completely booked. Thursday night, my son is wrestling, and then maybe I'll do one Friday. I don't know. We'll see. So stay tuned about our live next week. Maybe I just won't do it. I don't know. Joe canceled his Cup of Joe because he said a lot of people are on vacation next week, but maybe we'll just hop on for a few minutes and say hello. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, guys, enjoy your families. Have a wonderful, blessed, Merry Christmas. Most of you have scheduled calls with me, in the new year, if not next week. So let's get calls booked. Let's explode into this new year, guys. It's going to be exciting. And I'll help you every step of the way. So God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.